we had a community vote. Like 800 people responded, and they were all like, you guys got to drop community. Just be college, Shoreline College, right? For two reasons. One, it's to reflect the fact that we do have a bachelor's degree now, our first bachelor's degree in dental hygiene. So a community college is really 2-year degrees, right? But we do actually have a 4-year degree. That's one. And then two, if you notice, like Bellevue College, Edmonds College, I think even, Cascadia College, the trend is just to drop community. It's long. We have like a lot of people internationally who just, what is a community college, right? So you have to explain all of that. So I think just keeping up with the trends and reflecting, the fact that we are a great place of learning, college just makes the most sense. Right now? Okay. So our English language program has 2 parts to it. So there's ESL, right? English as a second language, which of course is focused on building the foundation of English, just learning how to communicate, how to read, how to write, speak, listening, right? We also have what's called English for academic purposes. So there are some students who come to us and, they've studied. They're from Mongolia, they're from Vietnam, they're from, outside of the United States. They studied English in high school, middle school. They can talk and speak English. But learning in English, writing essays, reading textbooks, that's a different skill, right? That's even for native English speakers, that's pretty different, right? Think about like your AP classes. So the English for Academic Purposes program really focuses on bridging that gap between, all right, I have my foundation of English and I want to take college classes in English, but I need a little bit of a boost, right? So that's what our EAP classes do, is help those students bridge that gap. So it's a very robust program. The full program, like hypothetically, you could have a student with 0 English. The full program takes 2 years. You could go from 0 English to college level English in 2 years if you're committed and a hardworking student. Again, our newest building was built in 2023, so about 1.5 years, 2 years old.
SolidWorks in here. We do electric circuits in here. So there's also circuit simulation software in this classroom. But generally, this handles most of the computer workload for the engineering classes.
I see.
In this class. Yeah.
Okay. And they might have some questions for you.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
So what major do people pursue after taking this class, or what is this class like in major sections?
So this is our engineering major. This is sort of like an advanced class that is actually not like a part of the transfer curriculum. It's for getting the certificate in the SolidWorks program, the CAD program. So there is a SolidWorks certificate offered by Shoreline after you complete a sequence of course, and also part of this class will also offer the official or the certified SolidWorks professional, certified SolidWorks associate certificate from SolidWorks themselves. Yeah, so this would be the final class for SolidWorks in this case. People who have a more technical work to use this software for design and basically decipher.
Study rooms here that folks can reserve. There's a QR code. You just scan it and you can book the room. Has obviously a table, whiteboard, TV setup. So pretty modern facility for students to study. This way, we're going to continue this way. Like any library, we do have physical books, but we're becoming a lot more of a digital campus, of course. So a lot of our textbooks, materials are all available digitally, and honestly, a lot of students prefer ebooks. But if you do want a physical book for whatever reason, we do have those options for you too, and they do maintain physical copies of textbooks for students on hand. Also, just a computer space that students can use. Don't need a reservation or anything like that. Just if it's free, you can use it. 2 tutoring centers, I guess you can call it that I want to point out. So one is our Math and Science Learning Center. And that's where students can go to get help with any of their math or science classes. As a student, you can also apply to be a tutor. And so that's a way to get like, you know, nice little side income, but also build your resume. You know, if you can say like, I have been trained as a tutor, I've helped all of these students, and you're transferring to a 4-year university, that's a really great way to like really showcase your commitment to the community, you know, your dedication to learning and helping others learn as well. And students can get help not just in person, but also online. So a lot of our tutoring services and advising services for students, of course, we have physical spaces, but sometimes you just want to take a Zoom call from your dorm room, and we get that, right? So we're available for you wherever you are. Yeah, I mean, you got like plants and lighting. This also, unlike the other spaces, students can come here with food. So if you just want to grab a bite to eat, come with some friends, do some work together, that's what you can do in this space. So right now we're in our visual arts building, which includes actually quite a few different kinds of art. So we have pottery, we have painting, we have drawing, right? So kind of the classic arts. But downstairs, and a lot of this is behind closed doors, so we won't be able to go there necessarily today, but we have a lot of like computer, graphic design, video game design, animation design. So students that are interested in kind of a more modern take on art have those options as well for programs. But I do want to show you some of the actual like classic art spaces, because I think those are really cool too. So over here, we have our drawing studio. Turn some lights on. So if this was maybe a few hours ago, usually the drawing classes are a little earlier in the day, but you would see you know, each student on a bench. Sometimes they bring in live models, so you can practice like drawing human beings. You can also practice drawing, you know, scenery, the human body, etc. It's a very cool space. A lot of international students take drawing as well because it counts towards some of those general education requirements. So I think that's one of the, you know, benefits of not just a U.S. education and American education, but also starting at a community college is that you can experiment, right? You might be a computer science major, and that's fantastic, but you also have the opportunity to take drawing, to take drama, to take music as you're completing those general education requirements, right? So this could be one of those options for your students. I also want to take you to our pottery class, because I think that's a cool space to explore. And another cool thing, not just about this building, but also other buildings on campus you will see, is that we love to highlight student art. We actually have an art gallery like further towards the front of the campus, where every quarter we highlight model student art, and it has a different theme each quarter. Sometimes it's photography, sometimes it's poetry, sometimes it's painting, sometimes it's drawing, etc. But it gives the students not just a chance to have their art featured, but there's also a reception where they can talk about their art, what inspired them, and potentially earn a scholarship as a result too. So we're gonna go in here. Oh, okay, we just walk in. Cool. Yeah.
You guys supply cameras?
Yeah, absolutely.
Stuff?
Absolutely.
What do you guys shoot on?
That I don't know. I know it's professional because I've seen the cameras. So unfortunately, I'm not a photographer. I think like they use a lot of like Canons.
Oh, yeah. Because I used to do that for a bit too. So.
Oh, sweet. What kind of like photography do you like to take?
Street and car.
Okay.
I like cars and just quite a lot.
Within those 24-hour period, they have to have people here in rotations constantly adding fuel for the fire. Obviously, that's a very time-consuming, inefficient way of kilning pottery. So they don't use this really anymore. The ones that they end up using the most are these two. So this is very similar to that, except this is a quicker process and it's just gas. That's fire, this is gas. Right, so they put brick, and it's like I think an 8 to 12-hour process, and then this is all electric. I think it's actually locked, so I'm not gonna try it. I'm not gonna be able to open it, but it's just an electric kiln. So really cool. And we have every year too the pottery class. I think it's like in September. No, October, November. It's in fall quarter. When we entered, that big lobby space, they turned that into a how do you say, like a pottery marketplace. So students can sell their art. They can actually make money from their pottery. Maybe pass along a business card or two. So it's a cool way. Again, we really want to invest and highlight our students, their creativity, their skills, their talents on our campus. One transfer partner, I think we had about 100, somewhere between 90 and 100 students last year that transferred to UW. UW Seattle. UW Bothell is also number 2. We have, I think, 60 or 70 students that transfer to UW Bothell. We also have a lot of students that go to the UC system. Berkeley, Los Angeles, San Diego, San Jose.
Do you have any kind of rate? How many students applied for the transfer students, and how many percent of all the
Yeah,
total?
so that's actually a really good question. We are not currently collecting that data, but we're actually, this is maybe too much information, but I'm going to share it anyway. We are improving the kinds of data we collect and how we collect the data. Right now, we have what's called a transfer out form. We have, I think, 4 or 5 different programs that we help organize along with other community colleges. It's like a shared program, so it's not just for Shoreline students, but Shoreline students participate. In the past year, we've gone to Chile, we've gone to Japan, we've gone to, I believe, Spain is one of the countries.
Nice to meet you all and welcome. So we here at Shoreline, we look at international education as the full, perspective in terms of international students coming and studying here, as well as providing opportunities for our students, both international and domestic students, to study abroad in other countries. So we offer some programs that are like the full quarter long, where students, go to another location, Europe, Asia, Latin America, and study for a full quarter. Okay, so 10 weeks. And then we also have some 4-week summer programs. We have one that goes to Seoul, South Korea, and we have another one that goes to Costa Rica in the summertime. So anyway, these are opportunities for students to go somewhere else and learn the language, the culture, and other subject matter as well, as applied to that location. Okay, so for example, our Costa Rica program, students are going and taking 5 credits of Spanish, learning Spanish, practicing their Spanish by living with host families, so that kind of thing. But then we also have, for example, a program that's going to Spain, where students will go and take Spanish classes, but they're also going to take psychology courses. But those psychology courses are going to utilize the environment and the interactions that the students have with their host families and with other people that they meet in Barcelona to apply their psychology knowledge and skills. So those are some of the programs we have, and international students are welcome to participate as well. It doesn't just have to be domestic students going abroad. In fact, we have a Taiwanese student who's going on the Costa Rica program to study Spanish. So yeah, the programs are open to everyone, and that's our study abroad program in a nutshell. But we're always offering something: summer, fall, and fall quarter, spring quarter, and sometimes winter quarter as well.
Department. So in terms of student clubs, student events, really the student life outside of the classroom, that's what this department does well. We do some of that too. We often also work with student life. So we, meaning international education, these are where this is the area that your students probably will spend a lot of their time at. You got 4:30, so it's a lot quieter. But if this was if this was maybe 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 2 p.m., you'd see a lot of students waiting around. You have student workers. We have international student leaders, ISL. We also have international student ambassadors, and they really help connect with prospective students, plan student events, really connecting the campus or students, international students, to the campus community. We also have our academic advisors. For international students, we have just 5 of them. So these are advisors that really help students, international students, create a degree plan, make sure that they're sticking to that degree plan, answer their questions, We have drop-in hours, scheduled appointments. So sometimes the student, they're having a difficult time in their class. They need some extra help. Maybe they want to drop that class, change that class. All of those questions and concerns that students might have, they come here and they can get help. Who are thinking about applying either for on-campus jobs or even jobs after graduation, they can come here. They can help with their resume. They can get help finding internships. I'd say that this is probably used more for our domestic students, because you might know that international students, there are kind of visa limitations on work, but there are limited work opportunities for international students, and for those opportunities, they can still access our Career Center for help. Student orientation is here. We have a lot of events, like of course, our wonderful Mongolian, everyone's hungry today. So I told you we don't have a cafeteria. This actually used to be the cafeteria before COVID. We do have a grab and go. Looks like people are very hungry today. It's the end of the day, so this is not, it gets restocked every day. But you'll see just sandwiches, some small snacks that students can take, in between classes. About 216 bedrooms, and there are 4 different floor plans. There's studio, which is the least common. There are just a few studios. There's 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, and also 4 bedroom. The most common is a 4 bedroom unit, which means that you get your own bed. You get your own bedroom, right? So you got privacy, you have your own desk, you have your own bed, but you have a shared kitchen, a shared bathroom, and a shared living room.
How much is the cost?
So that also depends on the unit size. And I'll tell you this, actually, they're about to increase the cost for starting from fall. They just have not released the new price yet. So I can share you the old price, but it's going to be out of date very quickly. Old price, and it ranges the old price from $975 a month, which I believe is for the 1 bedroom, to the 4 bedroom, which is $1,375 a month. There's also full laundry. In the downstairs area, there's a common room for like events, for people to study, hang out. 2019, yeah. And then the pandemic happened, so no one lived there for like 2 years. So it's very new, and I'd say about 75% of the students in the dormitory are international students. So these are as part of our advanced manufacturing lab. So students actually learn how to make tools, actually make things. And I can't see it from here. It's like further down that way, but we actually have about 3 3D printers. You can actually take like 3D printing class.
Yeah.
Come to our gym. We have our basketball court. I think they're just doing some free throws. All right. And then directly on the opposite side, we have our fitness center. It's open, I think, like 3 times a day. So there's early morning, if you're into those 8:30 in the morning workouts. There's also noon to 2, and then 4 to 6. And it was just remodeled, so everything there is brand new. You can smell that rubber right now.